every month of March, beginning particularly on the first day of March, we measure all around the world women in their different offices, the different workplaces are anticipating, and the lips of every woman we hear about the International Women's Day celebration, which is celebrated on the 8th of March. Each year worldwide, women gather around to celebrate this international day, and this year's theme focuses on investing in women, accelerate progress. And dear TV friend, you're welcome to Women's Voice. Today's edition, we are looking at the International Women's Day celebration, particularly within the context of Cameroon. How has it been celebrated over the years? What are some of the things which you think can be changed or should be maintained? We're zooming in on today's edition of the program. We'll be looking at the International Women's Day celebration, and tomorrow is the 8th of March, wherein worldwide, in every corner of the world, every corner, women will be through the different activities will be celebrating the International Women's Day. And we've had in our different towns 2 week-long activities as a build-up to this International Women's Day celebration. Reasons why. Today, last year we talked about the theme, we talked about other aspects, but this year on Women's Voice, we decided to look at it globally, the International Women's Day celebration within the context of Cameroon. What are some of the things which you think should be maintained or should be changed with regards to that celebration in Cameroon? Do not move on, also, dear TV friend, as in the course of the program, I'll be introducing you those with whom we'll be discussing or having this conversation. To begin with, I'm going to introduce Otop Joseph, who is a familiar face here, and he'll be joining us on this conversation. Greetings to you, Otop, and thanks for joining us.
Greetings to you too, Joyce, and thanks for having me once again on the program Women's Voice.
It's always a pleasure to have you on set. The other panelists definitely will be joining us in less than no time. So we'll continue. We're going to have this short breather, and thereafter we'll set the ball rolling for our conversation here on set. Let us have this very short transition. We'll be right back. Welcome back, dear TV friend. If you're just tuning in, you're on to Women's Voice, and today we're looking at the International Women's Day celebration within the context of, we'll look at the context of Cameroon, what should be changed or maintained. We're looking at overall the celebration. But before we go into those details, we want to just refresh our memory lane, and it will be conversing. You can join our conversation via SMS or WhatsApp on the numbers which you find on your screen. For some past years, we had women clamoring for their change. We had some women advocating for equal rights, equal opportunity, and that has transformed, and that was the origin of this International Women's Day. But Joseph, before we go and come back, narrow down to the context of Cameroon, basically when you hear of International Women's Day, where does it get its history, and what is this day all about?
All right, thank you very much for that question. When we talk about Women's Day, we all know it is a global celebration, but it began in America on February 28, 1909, where women took to the streets. That is a protest against their working conditions. That is, they were not treated well when it concerns the working conditions, maybe in their various offices or institutions in which they find themselves. So they began that protest, and America saw it as an opportunity to fight for the rights of women. So when America talks about the rights of women, it is not just from the blues. It began from somewhere, which is the Women's Day on February 28, 1909. But moving forward as a global celebration, the Women's Day celebration was globally recognized in 1911, in which it was celebrated in various European countries before coming into Africa. So the Women's Day, we'll talk about Women's Day celebration. It originates from the Western country, European countries. It began in the European countries before coming to America, and the UN thought it wise to celebrate this day in order to show the importance of gender parity, to show the importance of gender equality, to show the achievement of women in the society, and how these women can be empowered out there in the society without being neglected, without being shunned at, without being despised at, and all of that. So that is why the UN thought it wise to make this celebration a global celebration in 1911, in which is celebrated in many, if not all, in various countries around the world, and Cameroon too is not left out. So when we bring down the celebration of Women's Day here in Cameroon, we should put in mind that it began from America in 1909, February 28, 1909, where women at that time took to the streets to protest against the poor working conditions that are being meted on them, maybe by the institution's policy, maybe by the bosses they had at that time. So that is why that initiative came up, and the UN decided to make this a global celebration, because they saw that women truly out there are being sidelined in the society. Women truly out there are not being regarded or are not empowered to as men are being empowered out there in the society. So they brought up this day to show the recognition of women, to show the various achievements of women when it comes to social, economic, and political aspects of the country. So that is where we talk about the celebration of the International Women's Day and how it came about.
Thank you very much, Joseph. No one else could perfectly articulate that. Now we have an insight of how the day came about and the purpose of this day celebration, and we just try to lay this foundation so that we can get within the context of Cameroon, so that we can objectively analyze this day and see how we can what can be done. And just to remind that Women's Voice is a platform where we discuss issues about women, but not just for women. We also promote good practice, and why not, we objectively criticize so that we can positively, or we can achieve a positive change. Now we understand on the significance or the purpose of this day. Now generally I want to go back to that is the purpose of the day, and I just to find out originally from the conception of this day, from its history. What are some of the things, or how is the International Women's Day meant to be celebrated?
Thank you once more for that question. The International Women's Day is supposed to encompass various activities. First of all, from the UN site, you can Google and you can go there and you visit the various ways in which the Women's Day can be celebrated. First of all, you need to go out there on the streets, write messages, not protest. I'm not talking about protest. You go out there on the streets, you march, you show the power of a woman, you show the importance of a woman in the society with your placard and the positive messages you have written on that placard. You're not going out there to protest maybe of the bad condition, maybe your job site or your family or whatsoever. You're going out there to show people, or to show the community and the country at large, that women too are important out there in the society. Women too have a say when it concerns issues, be it social, economic, or political, and all of that. Another way in which the Women's Day ought to be celebrated is coming up with conferences and maybe roundtable talks. You tell women about their rights. You tell women how they are important in the society. You tell women how they can contribute in nation building. You tell women how they can manage their family, the institution, the society, wherever they find themselves. Because if that is not done, some women just say, I know my right, I know my right. Most especially in their house, I know my right. And when you are being asked, what is your right? You don't even know what your right is. And at that point, you are at the lost end. So women ought to know their rights, and this is where the government comes in, and also non-governmental organizations. It is in their place, although the world is becoming a global village, and it's the responsibility of the women maybe to go to Google or various search engines to know more about a woman in the society, the International Women's Day, or the rights of a woman. Then it is still the responsibility of non-governmental organizations and even the government. What about those people who cannot navigate or cannot access maybe Facebook, Google, WhatsApp, and whatsoever to get more information about their rights and how they can contribute into nation building and how they can end gender inequality in the country? So to commemorate this day, it's very important to have such conferences, such roundtable talks to inform women on the importance of this day, and of course to show their achievement and their importance in the society. Another way in which we can celebrate this day or commemorate the Women's Day is going to various media houses. Like I said, it still goes back to what I've been saying a few minutes ago. Go to media houses, you have a discussion about women in the society, how women are being treated, and how the government can come in and solve their situation, how women can contribute into nation building, how women can help the society politically or economically and in various ways. I will come back to Africans. We Africans, we over exaggerate. I don't know if it's exaggeration or the proper adjective to use to describe how some women celebrate this day. I don't know of Boya, but I've not heard of any maybe prepared or celebration or conferences that have been held to celebrate this day, which is not supposed to be so. If we're celebrating the Women's Day, then call these women all together. Tell them of their importance so that when their rights are being violated, they will have what to say and they will give a contribution. They will know what they are saying. Not that I know my right, and at the end of the day, you don't know your right and you don't know what you are saying. And if it's a case that has been taken to court, you have lost your case. Maybe your lawyer can help you, but non-governmental organizations and even organizations to the Ministry of Women Empowerment or the Delegation of Women Empowerment should come up with conferences or ought to come up with conferences, roundtable talks, go to media houses, talk about the importance of women and all of that. It's not only about Suleve, in which women do on Women's Day. I'm not sure that's the main purpose of the celebration of Women's Day. And if you heard correctly when I was talking about the origin of Women's Day, is to show the achievement of women out there in the society, is to show what they can do, the power of a woman, what she can do in the society, in the economy, both socially, politically, or whatsoever. It's not only about Suleve. Yes, you ought to celebrate that day. You are a woman, you ought to celebrate that day, but you should not take it to the extreme. That's not the main purpose of celebrating the Women's Day. So I think these are some of the few points in which can be considered when it concerns the celebration of the International Women's Day.
Thank you very much, Atop Joseph, for sharing more light on the things that need to be done on the day when we celebrate International Women's Day. Dear TV friend, you can join the conversation via SMS or WhatsApp on the numbers which you find on your screen. So we'll be taking on a short breather, and thereafter we should continue this conversation. Do not move an inch, as we'll be coming back practically looking at the celebration at the level of Cameroon. Let us have this very short transition. We'll be right back. Welcome back, dear TV friend. If you're just tuning in, you're on to Women's Voice on Divine Mercy Radio Television. And our conversation today, we are looking at the International Women's Day celebration in Cameroon. What are the things to maintain or to change? Already, Otop Joseph gave us a history, the origin, and the purpose of the International Women's Day celebration. And he also highlighted some of the things which ought to be done in celebrating these women. It is about advocating for the rights of women, and he noted that it is important that government and civil society organizations should actually empower these women by educating them, informing them about their rights and equally their responsibilities, and they can do that in a big build-up or as build-up to the International Women's Day celebration. We are also joined here in the studio by Mrs. Sally Ndape. She is a familiar face on Women's Voice. She is a gender and human rights activist here in Boya. Greetings to you, Sally. It's a pleasure to have you on set.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you very much for everything, and greetings to all those that are following us online and on TV. We hope you participate with us. You throw on more light, and you give us more innovative idea how we can run this together, because all of us are in this together.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Saline Dape. As I did say, we're looking at the International Women's Day celebration, the context of Cameroon. Already, Otop gave us a background on the intended purpose of this day. Previously, we've talked about different aspects of the International Women's Day, but today we decided to take a step back and do an observation of the origin, the purpose of this day, and look at how it is being celebrated in Cameroon. Already, Otop gave the purpose and also said the different activities that ought to be done during this International Women's Day celebration. I don't know, Sally, would you want to throw more light to some of the things which Otop highlighted? International Women's Day is meant to celebrate women's achievement, raise awareness on the rights of women and their responsibility, and also advocate for the respect of these rights and other socio-economic benefits which they ought to enjoy as women. Any addition? When we talk about International Women's Day, what comes to your mind first, Sally?
International Women's Day is the day that they celebrate women all around the world. Women that are industrious, women that are innovative, women contribution in society, in community, and everything women do. So on that day, tomorrow, is a day to commemorate women. All women so far, you are a woman, we celebrate you. It's a day to say kudos to the job well done, because if we look today all around the world, women are top on every list. We are doctors, we are engineers, we are agripreneurs, we are advocates, we are justice, we are magistrates and president. We are even MPs, so we are everywhere. And when you look in every classroom today, you see that. When they call up 5% average, women are always the top league. Yeah, we are leading. So it's a way to say that we should keep on doing what is good. We should keep talking to the society, because everybody counts on a woman to progress. Because a woman is the bearer of a child. And when you have a child, all what you need for that child is to give you the best result. So that is why tomorrow we celebrate women, and looking into it that the world is already coming to be digitalized. We are saying that it is right time for women inclusion to be innovative, using computer or using any ICT tool. So on this day we celebrate all the women. But looking into the context of Cameroon, we know some certain region, I should talk now at the aspect of advocacy. In the northwest and in the southwest, there's some certain region that and certain communities that will not celebrate with us. And you see, take into consideration that the loincloth, or I would say wrapper, as our women used to call it, Women's Day wrapper, is no more 6,000 francs, it's 10,000 francs. And looking economically how things have been very expensive now, the economic in our country is no more like days before that we used to spend. A bottle of alcohol now is It's rising to 900 francs, and 1,000 francs is no more 500, no more 650 francs. So we look into those consideration of many things that have rise. The prices of everything now in the market, beverages, everything have an increase. So due to this, I'm not sure that many women will afford to buy such loincloth because it's very and very expensive. And taking in the context of Cameroon, the Cameroon Anglophone crisis, now you will see that in Northwest, tomorrow is a ghost town. Obviously, our women will be indoors. And in another context again, you see that most of our women have been victimized in GBV. Most of them have been raped. Domestic violence keep increasing. Gender issues keep increasing. And others are made of zero tolerance. We keep facing challenges. So it's a call of attention to say that women celebrating tomorrow, some will celebrate and some will not celebrate. I, for one, I am not celebrating. That's why you see me putting on black.
Okay.
Yes, I am putting on black for a purpose. Yes, I am putting on black because I don't celebrate Women's Day. I don't see the reason for me sitting and applauding and smiling when I know the two regions I belong in have a problem.
Okay.
And taking into consideration our women have been raped, taking into consideration they are torturing women, they are kidnapping women, they harass us, they lock up in cell and many other things. Why should I celebrate Women's Day when I know my fellow women are not happy? So I, for one, am putting on black. Since the 1st of March, I'm putting on black till the 30th of March. I'll be putting on black because I'm mourning. Yes, because we have lost so many women. So I don't see the need celebrating.
Okay, thank you very much, Sally, for giving us another twist on today's edition of the program. It's what a beautiful introduction there from you. That's why I tailored this conversation. I didn't want to go to the theme. I didn't want to go to should we or should we not. We are looking at generally Women's Day celebration in Cameroon. And one of the things which Sally has noted here, it is a good day. It is good to celebrate women. But looking at the context of our country, she has decried the fabric. Which is something which, according to her, doesn't think it should be maintained because it is costly. And looking at our economy, a lot of women cannot afford. And then secondly, she mentioned about the violation of women's rights within the context of the Northwest and Southwest region. Women have been raped, a lot have been kidnapped, some are even still in prison within the context of this crisis. So she thinks that she will not celebrate the International Women's Day, though it's a day to celebrate women's achievement. But what are we celebrating when women are being killed, when women are being kidnapped, when women are being violated upon, and or whatnot? So you can join the conversation via SMS or WhatsApp on the numbers which you find on your screens. Now, Otop and Sally, I want us, before we flip the coin to the other side, I want us to look at generally, Sally. I know it's difficult for us to bypass or to cover our eyes to the pain and suffering of the women, particularly in the Northwest and Southwest region, and also those in the far north regions of Cameroon. I want us to look on a normal day, on a normal a period during the celebration of Women's Day in Cameroon. Otop said it is important to have roundtable conferences, educate women on their rights, educate women on a lot of things, and also give them opportunity to hear their voices, celebrate women who are doing a great work within Cameroon. What are some of the things, what ways do you think have they been celebrating Women's Day which you think are good to go or to maintain before we go to the other things that are not good to maintain as far as the Women's Day is concerned? So I just want to throw it open for both of you. On a normal perspective, before we flip the coin, what are some of the things which you think that we should uphold as Cameroonian women or Cameroonians celebrating the International Women's Day within our context of Cameroon?
Okay, let me begin. I think one of the things we can uphold when it concerns the celebration of Women's Day, there are some women or ministers or delegates who have non-governmental organizations, and they use that platform of theirs to empower the woman or the girl child, show the importance of women in the society, what they can do and how they can contribute into nation building. There are very few of some women who are up there who use, or women who have this maybe Facebook site or website or any pages on various social media platforms in which they use to show the ills women are going through and how the government can intervene, or how they can collaborate with non-governmental organizations to intervene in that situation. I think that is one of the things that we should uphold. Although it's not that way, I cannot say it's 50-50. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't do it. But I think considering the fact that the world is becoming a global village, most people now, or most women who are up there, are using their platforms to show the importance of a woman in the society, what a woman can do, her achievement, what she can do to contribute maybe to her fellow woman or to her local quartier or community or village where she is. Most women do that, and I think that should be upheld when it concerns the celebration of the International Women's Day. Now, talking about the roundtable discussions and conferences, like I said, I don't know about the Southwest, but in these Francophone areas, they do it. They do match pass and they have conferences. They meet with women. They discuss with them what they are going through. They inform them of their rights, how they can stand up for themselves, the do's and don'ts as a woman, and how you can behave with a woman in the society. If that can be brought in the Southwest or in various English-speaking regions, if it's possible, then I think that will be better. Because, like I said, in the Francophone regions that I know, there are many non-governmental organizations, or even the president's wife too, Chantabia. She has one of these
Serac women.
Serac women, in which she commune with the women to know their challenges and also to empower the women. If that can be brought in the Southwest, or it's already in the Southwest or in the two English-speaking regions, most especially considering the fact that we are in a crisis, then I think it will be good, because it will not be proper that some people are receiving maybe these conferences, are receiving maybe or are enjoying this Women's Day, and there are some other people who are not enjoying and cannot enjoy the facilities that are being provided. So I think for now, I think those are the two main points in which should be maintained when it concerns the celebration of the International Women's Day in Cameroon.
Thank you very much, Otop. Just to say that actually some civil society organizations at their own level, and also sometimes the regional delegation for women empowerment and the family, and also women and the family, I think so, they also organize some of these conferences in collaboration with the civil society organizations. So practically some of them have been doing that great job. And Sally, to you, what are some of the things you should think in line with the International Women's Day celebration, which have been done in Cameroon, that need to be maintained? Otop has talked about sensitizing women, roundtable conferences, march past, celebrating women's success, and also encouraging the women in their different spheres of work. What other activities do you think within the context of Cameroon should we maintain when it comes to the International Women's Day celebration?
Okay, once more, thank you. What I would say concerning this is that women should support women. It shouldn't be women against women. Women need more empowerment. Empowerment in agriculture, empowerment in spaces, empowerment in government spaces, empowerment in civil society and non-governmental organizations. So I believe that at the level of the grassroots, we should sensitize more on women, emphasizing more on gender-based violence, emphasizing more on economic empowerment, emphasizing more on women in politics, emphasizing more on teenage mothers, emphasizing more on child protection. So, which means we are not leaving women, we are not saying that during this time we shouldn't appreciate women that are doing a great job. We have women that have gone they are on the front line. They are doing great job in peace building. They are doing great job in the society that need to be recognized. We are not saying that they shouldn't be. They should be recognized, they should be applauded, but we are saying that there's still more things to be done. Yes, there are conferences that we need to hold. We need to empower the community. We need to tell them the good and the bad, everything that is happening. So because I believe that the good things to keep is keep on empowering these women.
Okay.
Yes, empowering young ladies. It is not only by going to clubbing, drinking, wasting money in buying human hair. We are encouraging women to be determined, focused, set yourself goal. Why not owning a company?
Okay.
So they should not only they should not put they should not set boundaries on their own personal growth. They should look beyond of what they want to become. So we are taking this opportunity to say women should engage in more structural activities, things that can elevate, things that can bring more growth in the society. We should know our right as women, what we should do and what we shouldn't do, what we can add and what we cannot add in the society. We should play our role as women, fully engaged as women, not partially but fully, because we have women that are doing great jobs all this while. We cannot say no. We have my sister here is a great journalist, she's doing great and she has been going from promotion to promotion, so I need to say, madam, you are doing well, congratulations. You understand? But we are saying that if we have 100 women, we will say at least 60 are wayward. Pardon me, but that is the truth. That is a fact. Okay. Our mothers back then used to wear Women's Day. They would celebrate. But I don't know if it is this emancipation that is making our women to misbehave. Yes, pardon me, I will say it, because if you look our women these days, 100% are bad. Yes, they should pardon me. They are not. If you go to salon, you will see they are doing their hair. My nails, my kaba is this. But is that what we need? We need something beyond. We need something that you can change. We are change makers. So you should be that woman that is bringing change, not a woman that is restraining us not from change. You understand? Those hair we can, who are manufacturing those hair, is coming abroad. But us also, we can do our own.
Definitely.
We are taking, I want but this style is like this. Tailor. Today, some people will quarrel with their tailor. Some people will lock up their tailor tomorrow at gendarmerie and police because the style wasn't what they wanted. But where are we going? Does that really matter? What matter is the footprint you leave behind.
That's insightful and a tough one there. She said it just as blunt as it is. Thank you very much, Sally. After encouraging the seminars and the celebration of women, she is asking and urging women to look beyond the distractions. I think that's one thing which you refer to this as more as a distraction, if I could get from your saying that the hair, the nails, the dresses, it is aesthetic, but it is not worth it. It is not worth it. As Sally says, we should look, when we talk about International Women's Day, women should look beyond the fabric, beyond the wig, beyond the nails, the lashes, and the pedicure and all whatnot, but look at the footprint which you're leaving behind, which means, as you said, women should not be a barrier to our elevation or our growth. It is a cause for concern for us here and all women watching, that it is important to invest more on institutional personal growth, which is not only the physical. We should bother less about the dressing or the fabric when it comes to International Women's Day celebration. But what do you have to say with regards to Sally's intervention? She was quite blunt to say that if we have a good number of women, I think a majority of them still remain wayward because they prioritize because of wrong priorities. What do you have to say in line with her thoughts and your observation?
I think with that last point, it came at that time. It was supposed to come at that time because presently now, like she said, back in the days, our mothers knew what they were celebrating and the importance of the Women's Day. But now people just think about the celebration. They come to the Bongo Square, they march, and after that they go to various beer parlors and snack bars and they drink and they do souleve. That's not the importance or the significance or the reason why we should celebrate the Women's Day. It doesn't make no sense. You are not impacting any woman, or you're not impacting your fellow woman by going to the bar and you're drinking and you're doing souleve, until some people will go after 2 days back to their husband's houses or to go and meet their children. And when your husband beats you, then there you will say you know you're right. But sorrowfully, you don't know you're right, because if you knew you're right, if you knew the importance of the International Day of a Woman, if you knew the significance and why it was brought up, then you will not do what you were doing. You will not just go to the Bongo Square and you march and you go to the bar and you drink, you dance yourself out, you drink yourself out until you get back home drunk, or you return home after 2 days and all of that. Some women right now are not focused, and I would say, let me not say they don't have foresight. They are not focused and they are not determined, and most of them don't know what they are doing. There are various media platforms out there in which you can go and you Google search about what the Women's Day is all about. It's not all about wearing the uniform. You are wearing the uniform, you are going to the Bongo Square to march. That what are you going to celebrate? What, you don't even know how the day came about. You don't know the reason why the UN decided to bring up the International Women's Day. You're just wearing your kaba and your nails, your scarf, your canopy. Some people will do exaggerated canopies tomorrow, and all styles they have. Anti-Philly.
Exaggerated canopy that will go like this.
And all of that. So I think women should be more focused when it concerns the celebration of the International Women's Day. We have people who are looking up to you. We have men who are looking up to you. We have children who are looking up to you. There are people out there who are looking up to you. So if you use this day to misbehave and you don't use it to fulfill its purpose, then I think you are going a wrong direction. I think you shouldn't even be a woman. On a serious note, you shouldn't even be a woman, because it's very important to go with the reason for the day, the significance, and why it should be celebrated. So women this day should be composed, should be self-disciplined, and should know what they are celebrating and why they are celebrating this day. It's not only about the drinks, the beer, the food, the chicken, the soya, the roast fish, or whatsoever.
And looking into it again, when the United Nations is saying that invest in women, accelerate growth.
That is the theme.
You understand?
For 2024.
So the theme all is about inclusion. And it's also a call for men to empower their women. We are saying that empower your woman. It's a call to parents also to say that if your child have graduated from university, don't keep your female child home. Empower her to do a business, empower in anything she wishes to do, because this world today is going to be ruled by women. Yeah, they may say women, we are many, but we are coming up powerfully. We are coming up powerfully. So we need the inclusion. Women should be in decision making. Women should be there.
Okay.
Yes. In government, women should be there. In MPs and so on, election, women should be inclusive. It means if we have 10 men, at least it should be equality. 5-5 on gender equality.
And that's one thing which I want us to discuss maybe in another edition of the program. When we talk about this equality, I think that women to have to do the effort to step up, to have what it takes, because we shouldn't be clamoring for a 50-50 if women are not ready to do the work to get to the table. Because it's not just about including women, but how much of, because we just said something here that women should learn how to invest in themselves and not just the pedicure, the manicure, and the aesthetics. So how many women are ready to toe the line or to invest in themselves or to develop in their career to meet the demands? We are not just going to have 50-50 of every. Yes, we advocate for equality, but I think that we shouldn't go just to fill the gallery, but women should be ready to have the brains and the skills that are needed to be on the table. You're not going to be on the table just because you're a woman, but you should bring something to the table to meet up with other men who are on the table. I think that's how the conversation should, that's my opinion, that's how the conversation should go.
No, it's good, but we are also saying, I don't deny your point. Your point is clear. But we are going to the 21st century where a bill should not only be levied on a man. Yeah, it should be 50-50. Things are getting hard. It means if I pay, it's true, the Bible says a man should take care of a woman, and the man need to work hard. But taking into consideration of this 21st century, women are working. I believe women should work more hard. They should work harder in such a way that
they complement their husband and not compete their husbands. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take on this contribution, Sally. Wow, Women's Day celebration is perhaps a good and a well-known fact. They are encouraging women all over the world, but I think this notion of Women's Day should fall within the sphere of women. I am not biased but factual, because women are given the opportunity to take part in some aspect of life doesn't make them men. I think the new slogan should be, what a man can do, a woman can do it, not otherwise. I'm not a misogynist. This is from Theophile from Consamba. So I think he has an issue for this slogan, which we say, he says women should be given equal opportunities, but maybe the statement which we usually say, what a man can do, a woman can do better.
I cannot do.
We should rather.
I cannot. If you are cracky as well, I cannot go and crack. This thing is position versus position. You understand?
Yes.
If you are a director, let me say the director of Soné, you come in to come and be there. I will come and do what there if that is not my fee. You understand? It's grade by grade. Okay. I understand his point, but on this Women's Day, this is my own problem. Why I said it's good empowering women. It's good celebrating with women. But I, for one, I am not celebrating because at times you see there is no light. Why should I celebrate? The access to education is a problem in our country. We don't have good water. Our roads are bad. So why should I celebrate? Our women are being raped every day. We are living in a region where tomorrow those in Munya will not celebrate. Those in Tiko and Mutengene will be indoors. It's only people living from Bunduma. You will see them tomorrow, they will put out very old kaba and put the correct jet in their Saxamoto. And they come and feel they are shining. After that, they take their kaba and put inside. And they go home. There is no security. You understand? Tomorrow, some of our women may be kidnapped.
That's true.
Which we don't pray, but that's
which
a reality.
we don't pray, but that is a reality. So, if we are going out there, you are going on your own. You are going on your own because it's only God that is protecting us. We really want to enjoy, but we don't have all those access. The access of education is very poor. Access to good drinking water is bad. Access to roads is bad. We don't have good health facilities. If you see on media everything that is ongoing, we don't have good health facilities.
Sure.
Our children are not being protected. Our women are being raped, and GBV is ongoing. So when I see all that, why am I celebrating? You want to read. You will not surprise me if we are here on studio and the lights goes off. And we'll wait like 10 minutes.
Okay, those are the realities which we think, dear TV friend, if you're just tuning in, you're on to Women's Voice on Divine Mercy Radio Television, and we are looking at the International Women's Day celebration in Cameroon. What are some of the things which we can maintain or should be changed? And we've had this conversation already, and we are also looking at the reality in Cameroon, wherein a lot of people, a lot of women might not be able to celebrate tomorrow because of security concerns. Others will not celebrate because of economic and financial financial concerns. Others are actually, before even the International Women's Day, our day-to-day lives as women and individuals, we have a constant power outage, we have bad road networks, we have a very poor healthcare system, access to education for some is still limited, and even other basic amenities. You can join the conversation via SMS or WhatsApp on the numbers which you find on your screens. Sally and Joseph, for me take this contribution. Good evening, auditors. I'm Te Lenda, watching from Yaoundé, Cameroon. I honestly think women should all dress in black clothing and match out their sorrows on the occasion of the International Women's Day, because things are not getting any better, and we, the women, cannot do anything about it. The economy is not okay, but we, the women, are only forcing on senseless equality with men instead of thinking of how to make our dear Cameroon better. We are supposed to be all mourning tomorrow.
Thank you.
Sally has got a friend.
Thank you. I got a friend.
Thank you very much, Linda, for that contribution. And this tells me of the reality on top. This now, actually, if you have people re-echoing about this difficult condition, the economy is hard. We do not have that women should dress in black and cry out their sorrows tomorrow. Just try to picture how that will be. And this is just to tell you that not only women, Cameroonian as a whole, and women in particularly, are actually going through a lot with a difficult economy. And what Sally highlighted here, our hospitals are not of standard. Educational system, we had a member of parliament a couple of days lambasting on this aspect. Poor network, educational system which is not the best, a poor road network, and then health facilities to which is a catastrophe. So
Catastrophe. No, my dear, it is not something to even laugh. It is bad, because I cannot count a number of incidents. I have witnessed in hospitals. Our health system is devastating. It's poor. It seems as if, I don't know if our health system now is man no man before they take no, we shouldn't laugh. It seems it means if
it's just so embarrassing it's just so embarrassing.
Do you know, last week we lost a child of 5 years just because of neglect. Yes, I call it neglect, and the child died. Unfortunately, the incident is so painful. And when I saw it, and when I asked the state general hospital, I just said like this: it's a military man. I had to calm that man down. And that is his only child that passed away. Imagine the pain of your child being sick and they need a pound of blood. And again, they need a pound of blood. They bring a donor. The nurses are just roaming around. And they send an intern to go and place the needle. Intern too doesn't know how to place the needle. That is how she was doing there. The woman had to go and look, but the child passed away because they needed the blood since 8, only to put the blood by 9 in the 9. So the child passed away.
Unfortunately, we actually sympathize with such
That's not
cases.
the only case. It's many. If you go online, you will see that we are facing a lot of crises when it comes to our health system. Drugs are being increased. The prices of drugs, I don't know what is happening. The price increase on drugs. I was like, what is happening here? Drugs, so it means every paracetamol is no more 150 or 200. So you see that, how will the poor woman out there survive in the context of Cameroon Anglophone crisis?
Yeah.
How will that grassroots woman that is doing her best, she's an IDP, she's a returnee, how will you expect her to have such money when there is malnutrition? We don't have access to good water. School fees is another matter. To pay the school fees of a child, they will tell you, now they say it's PTA, but you go to some certain school, PTA is 15,000 francs. To pay that 15,000 francs, it's not chocolate. This year I had to pay at least, I've paid the school fees of government student at least 180. Don't talk of the books that are distributed. And I came again to another school. Children that sitting on the floor here in Boya. There are no benches. So
those are actually the sad realities.
It's a sad reality.
Which we are actually, some persons are actually facing within our country, and reasons why Sally says she's putting on black from the 1st to the to the 31st of March in mourning the state of Cameroon. And I think she's joining, she has a friend joining her who is Linda, saying women should put on black and mourn out their sorrows tomorrow at the occasion of the International Women's Day. I think we'll be running out of time. I want to sincerely thank you all for your contributions as we did an honest appreciation of the International Women's Day celebration in Cameroon, where we went back to the purpose of the day. We look at how it's been celebrated in Cameroon. One thing we are advocating is that women should continue to be empowered on their rights. Women should be educated. Women should invest more on their development in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, and pay little attention to the human hair, the attachment, the extension, the pedicure and the manicure, and invest more in their growth and development. Before we leave the studio, Otop Joseph, what last message do you have for our viewers with regards to the International Women's Day celebrations?
My last words I have for the women is use what you have to get what you want. Use the opportunity you have, like a day set aside for you to celebrate the Women's Day. Use that opportunity to get what you want. It's not all about the celebration. It's not all about buying the material, sewing the baddest style, and coming to the field and marching. Do your write-ups. March with confidence. Women, there are some women who have this opportunity, but they misuse it. And at the end of the day, nothing is fruitful. So use the opportunity you have, like the Women's Day or the Mother's Day, to empower other women and to make other women out there better in the society, and also make your voice heard. If you know the power women have, then you will not misuse such opportunities. So women should just use opportunities they have to get what they want.
Okay, thank you very much, Otop Joseph. Using that in a positive sense, not misquote Joseph.
Yeah, don't misquote me.
Don't misquote Joseph. Use the opportunities you have to get what you want. It is a day set aside to celebrate women. Let us use this day to cry out our plight, to say what we want, to advocate for what we want. Thank you very much, Otop. And to you, Sally, what message do you have to women with regards to the International Women's Day celebration in Cameroon?
On this day, I want to call to my fellow women to join me mourning. Yes, I want to call on all the women to join me mourning. Sit in your house, wear your black, remember all the sorrows and all the problems we have in Cameroon. Empower you on yourself, invest more on yourself, and be the change maker we need. Be the change maker we need in advancement in everything we intend to do. Be a woman supporting another woman to grow. Be a woman that will elevate another woman. Be another woman that will bring changes in our country. The little you do will be impactful, so you should impact more lives. So I call on all the women to mourn and to be the change makers that we need tomorrow. Happy Women's Day to all the hardworking women out there. Keep empowering, keep impacting, and keep being who you are.
Thank you very much, Sally. Keep impacting, keep empowering. Sally is calling us all to mourn with her tomorrow, as she's mourning, crying about the excesses of women, some women. She's crying about the increase in GBV cases, the lack of security, the poor road network, the hard economy, the increasing cases of GBV, the poor healthcare facilities. She's also mourning the poor quality of water and other basic amenities. Thank you very much, Sally Ndape. I want to use this opportunity to extend A happy Women's Day to all the women watching us now and those who will be celebrating tomorrow. Also use their space and that opportunity to amplify your voices. Do not limit yourself to the celebration, to the fabric. If you can afford the fabric, fine. If you cannot afford the fabric, do not kill yourself or put your husband under pressure. Go with what you have, and also advocate. Focus more. One thing which I'm taking here is women should focus more on their growth, focus more, invest more in yourself to acquire knowledge and skills that you need to desire or to get to the desired seat on the table. Dear TV friend, and this note will be saying thank you to all those who contributed on this program. Take the rendezvous with us next Thursday for another edition of Women's Voice on DMRTV. The rebroadcast will be yours on Sunday at exactly 4:30 p.m. Do stay tuned to more interesting programs on DMRTV. Goodbye for now.